Stating with 42,000 acres already burned and 31% containment, but it really has stepped up today. As you can see, this home right here was lost.
Hey, good morning, John. I just reached 9.68, now 7 miles.
We're very active people. We love to hike. We love to go boating. Things like this happen. Someone could fall, someone could get hurt.
And take a look behind me. As you can see, there are so many toys here. Hey, John, police tell us that a man was leaving a local bar here when he noticed a group of men harassing a homeless man. This is exactly, if you've never seen the races, this is exactly what they'd be doing.
This morning, Reno police are investigating a shooting stemming from a road rage incident. It happened last night near the 800th block of Wells and I-80. The Washoe County Sheriff's Office got a tip that Jamel Geronimo and Tyler Hernandez were staying at a home in San Diego. California police are holding them on fugitive from justice charges. With rain, the storm is bringing some strong winds. Now, those two combined can be dangerous when it comes to power lines or trees. One person is dead and a 19-year-old is behind bars after a DUI crash in northeast Reno. It happened yesterday at the intersection of Scottsdale Road and Bullwinkle Drive. Reno police say a single vehicle rolled over. One passenger was not wearing a seatbelt.
30.
At 10 years old, Kelslyn Poole is already making an impact on our community.
I'm kneading it into a long shape or long bread.
What started out as a hobby she shared with her dad turned into something more.
We were making big loaves of bread, and I decided, how about we pass them out to the less fortunate.
Twice a week, Kelslyn and her dad spend hours making the bread and getting it wrapped and ready to be handed out.
Once it comes out of the oven, we'll butter it, then we'll put it in these bags.
And even with school and over 15 hours of gymnastics a week, Kelslyn still has been able to make over 300 loaves of bread in 3 months to give out to our homeless community.
Awesome. Comes down here every weekend and does it.
On Saturday, she spends her free time handing out the bread, water, and even toys for the children.
Would you like a loaf of bread?
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Kelslyn says her favorite part of it all is seeing how appreciative the people are when she hands out the bread.
We feel really happy a lot, and it makes God really happy too.
Covering the story, Jaimie Hayes, 2 News.
How precious and important and how beautiful it is, and what things that they can actually do to help keep it that way.
Clearly, Tahoe is going into its 2nd year here at Lake Tahoe. They use clear kayaks to teach the public about invasive species, using flashcards in the boat to help point them out along the way.
We'll actually show you how to identify it. We like to keep Tahoe as beautiful and preserved as possible. It is a very, very rare, very beautiful thing that we have here, and it's important to try to preserve it and keep it that way.
This includes finding trash in the lake.
So there's some trash.
While a lot of businesses adopt beach cleanups, we actually adopt an underwater cleanup.
Anchor not too long ago. I found a drone the one day.
We will actually make our best attempt to remove whatever kind of trash and debris, anything that doesn't belong.
They also take the chance to teach the community about the importance of keeping the beach clean.
Pack it in, pack it out. Bring any trash with you, and not only that, if you see anything that doesn't belong, take it with you.
And taking the time to clean the boats when you take them from lake to lake.
It's really important, I feel like, for people to be cautious of things that might end up in the lake and to make their best attempt to remove them once they do.
One of the big invasive species here in Tahoe is the curly-leaf pondweed. They kind of look like seaweed, so clearly Tahoe's asked if you see them hanging out in the lake, it's best to pick them up, throw them in your boat, and throw them in the trash, as well as any other trash you might find. Covering the story, Jaimie Hayes, Channel 2 News.
Kilo Rocky Tower, runway 11, wind calm, clear for takeoff.
Just before 7:30 this morning, a single-engine plane carrying 3 people took off from the Truckee Airport. Moments later, they started having engine problems.
Truckee Tower, I've got a power failure on return to field.
But the plane would not make it back to the runway.
The aircraft reported engine trouble and impacted the ground.
It crashed just a mile from the airport. When officials arrived, they found one of the passengers dead and 2 critically injured. The 2 other passengers were rushed to the hospital, one by care flight and one in an ambulance. Unfortunately, a second person passed away from their injuries after arriving.
The incident is under investigation by the FAA, as well as coordinating with Placer County Sheriff's Office and the NTSB.
Covering the story, Jaimie Hayes, Channel 2 News. Since 1982, hundreds of pilots have come to the biggest little city to race in the Great Reno Balloon Race and to put on a show for thousands of people. But sometimes the race can cause a concern for the public.
Ballooning is the kind of thing that people will see and they'll go, oh my goodness, that doesn't look normal. I'll dial 911. And because of that, there are a lot of false 911 calls.
Anderson has been a pilot for 36 years and has won the balloon race 4 times. And over the years, he has had some run-ins with first responders.
During the races, certainly people have dialed 911 and there have been fire engines following us around.
Anderson says that even though the tricks balloons do are not normal for an aircraft, does not mean they are in danger.
Often you'll see balloons touching down in that pond. We call that a splash and dash. Well, if an airplane touches down in a pond, he's crashing.
And during the races, you may see the balloons close to homes, but Anderson says don't panic.
During the Great Reno Balloon Race, when you're flying in a congested city like this, very often you'll see balloons landing in city streets. If you're not sure if it's an emergency or not, maybe hold off on dialing 911. We have a chase crew that's following us, and if we're in trouble, they're going to know it, and they will have already dialed 911.
To help educate more people, Anderson and other pilots have created a Facebook group called Hot Air Balloons 101, where people can send in pictures or ask questions about their flight and where they land.
Go there, ask any question you'd like.